Becoming pure. My name is Sun Yating, and being a mother in these changing times is scary but filled with opportunity. The year is 1985, and I am largely thankful that my years of studying and attending my secondary school have paid off, because I need it more than ever now. My parents are both farmers in rural China, and they worked very hard to ensure I could go to school. They made many sacrifices so that my children and I could have a better future, and now, coming out the other end, I promise to honor these sacrifices. My studies have landed me not only a person I would be delighted to spend my life with, but also a new job in the city. I hope that I can use the additional money to support my child's upbringing. I will name him Tam Jinghua, meaning purity and richness, something I will hope his new life will be full of. Even though we live in the city, I still visit my parents every so often to check up on them and to support them financially. I bring Tam with me on these trips that I make from the city to the farmland so that he can see his grandparents and not lose sight of the culture and upbringing that made all this possible. He is always very playful on these fields and never afraid to help feed the farm animals. My parents say that he is a natural, truly one in tune with nature. The year is now 1991, and Tom is only 9 years old. How quickly they grew up. A few days after Tom and I returned from a visit to my parents, I was awakened that night by screams of pain coming from Tom's bedroom. He kept needing to use the restroom and had many rounds of tummy aches and diarrhea. At the time, I didn't know what else to do but bring him to a hospital. I was so scared for his health, but thankfully the doctor who treated him that night told us it was nothing but a case of food poisoning, most likely caused by a strain of bacteria called C. gingivi. My doctor told us that this could come from many sources, but gave us sanitary tips because of our recent visit to the farmland. Diseases could be caught easily if not taken care of, she warned, especially if handling livestock. I thanked her once again for the helps and tips and was on my way. However, the following few days were not any better. Even though the nausea stopped, Tam still felt very weak and had more and more difficulty breathing. He constantly said that he was tired and sometimes did not even want to leave his bed for meals. I told myself he was just weak from the food poisoning and that this was a recovery symptom, but I was wrong. I knew something was not right when almost a week later he did not feel better, and he said that he had muscle spasms throughout the day. At this point, he had a lot of difficulty leaving his bed or moving, so I once again took him to the place that saved us last time. Hi, my name is Tam, and I'm almost 10 years old. I'm still in the hospital being treated for my sickness, but I hope I can get better soon. It is a little scary because I feel like I'm getting weaker and weaker across my whole body. I can still feel everything I touch, but sometimes it's hard to move my arms and legs to even get off the bed. The doctors took some of my blood and put me through a machine called an MRI to see what my muscles were so weak. They found that I have low potassium in my blood, and after the MRI, they showed me pictures of the scan and my nerves. The doctors say that I might need to have needles stuck in my arm to give me important antibodies to fight off the numbness. They told me I have Guillain-Barre syndrome, and that I might be able to recover, and that it could take some time to get back to normal life. I still hope I can get better soon. I miss playing with my friends at school and visiting my grandparents. A year has passed, and even though I've gotten a lot better since my diagnosis of Guillain-Barre, I still haven't fully recovered yet. Thanks to the antibodies and plasma that the doctors gave me, my symptoms have improved, and I am no longer getting weaker in my muscles. Throughout the year, I've become more involved with school, and I'm glad I can hang out with my friends again. However, I am no longer as good in sports as I was before, and I get tired a lot quicker. Some of my classmates make fun of me for being the weakest boy, but I usually don't pay attention to them. In the beginning, I used to have periods of intense pain and would have to take a break, but now I'm good at hiding them or playing it off. I don't want my pain to stop me from doing things I love. I still visit my physical therapist once a week so I can work on refining my motor skills, and it's helped. Now that I'm 16, I am now up to speed with my normal life, and I understand Guillain-Barre syndrome a lot better. It is a form of muscle weakness that's caused by my immune system attacking my nervous system, specifically the parts that connect my brain to my muscles. Guillain-Barre is triggered by a previous infection, especially those that affect respiratory gut systems. That explained why after my bad case of food poisoning I developed it. Common symptoms include muscle weakness or paralysis, but it can get dangerous fast if breathing muscles are affected. Thankfully, my mom caught on to it fast enough so it didn't develop to that point. My immune cells attack the insulation that protected the systems throughout my nerve, destroying the myelin that coats them. When this coating is removed, the electric signals that go through the nerves become leaky, and the muscles which receive those signals become less responsive to those weaker signals. These damaged nerves also sometimes send wrong signals, which can cause twitching in the muscles or the feeling of pain. More specifically, my doctor told me that my T cells, the ones that fight off infections, targeting gangliosides, which are found on nerve cells and serve as markers. The presence of antibodies, often left over from the immune system fighting another infection, causes specialized macrophages to invade the nodes of Ranvier, also known as the gaps between myelin sheaths on my nerves. In my case, it was the GM1, GM1B, GD1A, and GalNAc GD1A antibodies found in my bloodstream that caused me to develop Guillain-Barre. This is also an FC receptor on my immune cells that help them bind to these antibodies and attack the ventral roots of my nerves. In a way, my own immune system's B cells make antibodies that cause other immune cells to bind to and target the wrong thing. Currently, the treatments for Guillain-Barre include the use of plasma transfusions and intravenous immunoglobulin injections as a form of immunotherapy. Doing so helps filter out the antibodies that cause the immune system to attack nerve cells. While this stops future attacks, physical therapy is still needed to help regain more muscle control. Originally, my mom did not believe in physical therapy, saying I should be stronger and just independently exercise. But the directed attention I was getting helped overstressing and damaging what I have right now. Later, I found I was diagnosed with a specific form of Guillain-Barre called acute motor axonal neuropathy, which affects many children from China. I've met up with many others and have gone through similar experiences with me and listened to their stories. A common cause of Aman, so it's called, is a Seijunjui bacteria, which is common when encountering unsanitary foods. I didn't want this traumatic experience to happen to people, especially when the causing agent seemed fairly preventable. So I've since become interested in public health and want to do more advocacy for safer farm conditions and improved sanitation across the food processing chain. I also want to make healthcare, education, and social mobility more accessible in rural areas. I know that if my mom had not gone to school and moved to the city, I wouldn't have gotten the needed medical treatment. Through these efforts, I hope to purify the world and make it a safer place for everyone involved.